So just recently, Blake Griffin was bought out by the Detroit Pistons and he quickly signed to the Brooklyn Nets. So in today's video, I'll be giving you 4 things that you need to know about the Blake Griffin signing. Not necessarily negative or positive things, just some things you need to know. Before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video to help my channel grow, subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA content and to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and comment on this video to start a conversation with me because I respond to all of my comments, and play that intro. The first thing you need to know about Blake Griffin going to the Nets is the fact that Blake is not a star level player anymore. And yes, I'm sure most of you guys are aware of that, but this is for the casual fans who haven't kept up with him. You have to realize in the 20 games he has played this season, he has been averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds and 4 assists while shooting a disgusting 36% from the field and 31% from 3. So Blake joining this team, it was not a star level player. And he's not going to be a guy throwing down crazy posters and crazy dunks or being unstoppable in the post. And so far this season, he hasn't even played like an above average NBA player. So there's a chance that he's not that good for them, since Blake is now a power forward who mainly shoots threes but isn't even good at them. And on the defensive side of the floor, he's pretty bad, especially at guarding perimeter players. So all I'm saying is there's a 0% chance that Blake goes to the Nets and plays somewhat like an all-star. 0. The second thing you should know about Blake going to the Nets is an actual positive thing, and it's the fact that I think Blake will be a solid player for them. And this is because, since we all know, one of the Nets' biggest weaknesses is their lack of depth. And I honestly think Blake could help them somewhat, since he's a guy who could be solid in the post against smaller players. And I think there's a chance that Blake could play some small ball center on this team, since he's one of the strongest players in the league and he's a solid rebounder, and he could space out the floor better than most centers in the league, which could space the floor even more for the Nets' big three of Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. But the biggest problem I would have with Blake is the fact that he's a bad defender at this point in his career, as he's terrible at guarding the perimeter, and I doubt he can guard the pick and roll. But I think he could be an overall solid player, and even though Blake won't consistently play like a star player, I think he could have random games scoring 20 plus points, which could be very helpful, especially in the playoffs, as this season he's had a few high teens or even 20 plus points per game. The third thing you should know about the Nets signing Blake Griffin is that even though Blake is a big name and you might expect him to start on this Nets team, especially since their weakest position is their front courts, mainly the power forward and center position. Obviously not the small forward position, but if I had to bet, I would bet him to not start at first and only start if he plays great off the bench, since I think at this point I'd rather see Jeff Green starting instead of Blake Griffin, since Jeff Green is a way better defender, which is something the Brooklyn needs. Green is also a way better shooter, as he's been shooting a sweet 42% from 3 this season compared to Blake's terrible 31%. And at this point, Green is a better pick and roll player, since he's significantly more athletic and he's a solid finish. And I'm not saying this to hate on Blake, but it's kind of clear that he would be better off the bench talent wise and fit wise. The fourth thing you should know about the Nets signing Blake Griffin is the fact that signing Blake doesn't drastically increase their title chances, because even if Blake plays like a solid role player, I don't think it makes them more likely to beat teams like the Bucks, Heat, Celtics, or even the Lakers or Clippers if they make it that far. Because I don't think Blake will be one of the best bench players in the league, but I think he'll just be a solid guy, but nothing special enough to make me think, wow, the Nets are going to win the championship, especially if I didn't think that before, which I don't think they are. To conclude the video, I don't think Blake going to the Nets is a big deal, and I think he will be a solid player and somewhat revive his career, but I think he will ultimately not be a game-changing move. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know what you think about Blake going to the Nets. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want weekly NBA videos and to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And comment on this video to start a conversation. So I respond to all of my comments. And I'm out.